Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well today on this crazy market moving day, Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. Let's get it started.
Yeah. Welcome to the lab. We're talking about that small account challenge, 5 large in the pocket, and a world of data. Small account challenge. Stay cool. Small account challenge. No fools. Small account challenge. Watch it grow. Small account challenge. Keep it slow.
Hope you guys are doing well today. We're going to jump straight in because it's 30 minutes to market close, and Papa wants to watch it a little bit. Papa's got some other stuff going on and some other accounts. So, small account challenge, what we do, we launched this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think. We're going to review the trades. We're going to talk about kind of the overall structure of how things are going. And then we will look and talk a little bit about some contingency plans if one of these trades that we're going to look at continues to fail, as we talked about at the beginning. So, first off, let's look at the trades that we have live right now. 2 went on this morning, and they're both kind of VIX environment trades. And if you're paying attention to the news today, we have ourselves a little bit of a VIX environment. VIX is currently above 20, and there's some tariff stuff related to Greenland, and just the market probably wanted to go up and vol a little bit. So that's what we're dealing with. We've got 2 on. One is Stalingrad. I believe this is the first time it's opened for us. Just to do a quick reminder of what Stalingrad is, it is a double calendar, and it is put on when the short ratio is a certain level, and we have triggered that for the first time. And so if you don't know what that is, real quick, I'm going to let you go to give you the address to go to. It's optionmega.com/small account challenge. Put your email in. You can get the research, get the videos. We're going to be updating those videos this week, putting some stuff in about how to automate those and go from there. But this is what we have live, Stalingrad. And then we have a ratioed 1-2 double calendar when the VIX 9-day is above 1. And that triggered this morning as well. So that, is going to expire. The shorts are going to expire tomorrow. We're going to be out of that trade tomorrow, win, lose, or draw. And what you're doing is, if we go down, hopefully you get enough of a vol pop to where that put is going to help you. Otherwise, if we get a mean reversion to the upside, you have a 2-to-1 call to put. So we're hoping that will help us as well. So that's what we have on live right now. Let's review the week. Last 7 days, we are down $622 on the account, and we can point, there's no mysteries to it. We said from the beginning, we have one trade that's oversized in this account, and it is playing itself out that way. So we had 5 trades on last week, got out for a little bit, basically break even on the other ones. But this one SPX 5 wide put spread lost twice. Now, let's talk about that and then what we're going to do about it. We've said, as we went through the research, and you can go, again, optionmega.com/small account challenge, view the research, that we are going to allow that to play out 4 times, 4 losers in a row before we stop trading it. Why? Because it has lost historically 3 times in a row. And so if it goes to 4 times, that's a new data set, and we would stop it and reevaluate. So if you're just started, and, please, I hope you listened to the videos early on, because we said, that one right there, that SPX 5 wide, is the one that's going to be most of the gains and most of the losses. And so it has definitely played out that way so far. Now, what are we going to do about it? Well, we're going to let the rules play out. We've got 2 more losses to go on that before we would take it out. as always, let's review a little bit about what Small Account Challenge is about. It's about looking at trades, creating a portfolio, and then learning to trust trades and trading in a different way than perhaps other gurus would tell you, or you need to follow their trades every day, follow exactly what they're doing. Ours approach is taking a more automated, structural approach where you research, you do your research ahead of time, and then you let the numbers play out. So that's what we're doing. We're letting the numbers play out. There's some good things in options land that are happening that I'm excited about Small Account Challenge. One, we've talked about pattern day trader. The rumor is that it's going to be going away. We don't have a date on that, but we've said if pattern day trader goes away, we will adjust that SPX anyway because of it's just oversized right now. Two, and something that we're testing right now and putting in the contingency plan is Apple and Tesla, which we have in the backtester in the automation platform. I believe this Friday are starting to trade multiple day a week expirations instead of 1 day a week expiration. Well, that is going to open up a whole new world for us. And so we're going to, obviously, once that starts, research. But what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to find trades and strategies a little bit that will perhaps mimic what we think is going to happen in those equities. And so we might be adding some trades pretty soon once that starts. We might give it a week or two. But once we do that, we might start putting some trades on that, it would be sized nicely for this type of account. So, that's what we're doing. And this is the joy of trading, right? You look at it and you say, we're down so far on the Small Account Challenge. I am personally not scared of that because we're sized appropriately. We know what the max loss we can have on that is. And we know when we get there what we'll do. And what we'll do is we'll stop trading that thing that's losing all the money for us. We'll go from there. And the nice thing about it, to be honest with you, is I'm a vol guy. I like trading vol. And so there's some other stuff we can put in there that we think is going to work just fine. So as we said, this is a challenge that's going to last all year. We're not going to adjust the numbers. We're not going to reset. We're not going to do anything like that. That's like, hey, it's a bad time, so let's wait a week and now we'll reset. Hey, we got a 100% winner on the upturn. No, we're just going to let it play out and see. And so, the current Joe, what do you think about the current history, backtest validity when Apple, Tesla? That was the thing I was talking about. It's hard to say there's validity to a backtest because we don't have the data yet. But what we can do with the research is you can look at certain years with, like, for instance, SPY, where they had 3 day a week expirations, and you can kind of start to maybe think about some ideas that you would play out with. And then when that data starts coming, and we'll have it, week by week, we'll start building it, is you start building tests that you think are going to work accordingly and go from there. The nice thing about those is you can size those smaller. And so that's helpful to the backtest. Again, going through the emotions of all this, I would love for this thing to just have doubled already. Obviously, we knew that was probably going to be unrealistic to the amount of strategies we have in there. But also on the flip side, we know what the biggest loser is, which is that put spread. And worst case is it goes away. And if it goes away, again, we've got some other stuff that we think is going to be fine that honestly you'll breathe easier at night, because as we said from the beginning, that SPX foot wide is the one that kept me up at night putting this in there. Just the size of it. When you're trying to build a small account, capital preservation is the number one thing. And so that's what we're trying to preserve is capital. You got to preserve your capital if you're going to double your capital or make any sizable gain. So anyway, if you are interested in what we're doing, want to figure out a different type of way of trading than perhaps you're used to, go to optionomega.com/small account challenge. Click view the research, put your email in, and you will get a playlist of videos, a couple hours of content that we've put out. And we will be updating that content with, again, tool videos on how to automate and things to look for as you're automating and things like that. So anyway, 20 more minutes in the market. Going to let you go early today. We keep monitoring. We let it play out. We keep going. We set the rules ahead of time. We play by the rules. That's what we're doing. Hopefully get a little bit of a bounce. Hopefully that SPX starts taking off. Would love to get 5 or 6 winners in a row of that thing. But again, I'm a downer by nature, and I assume we will break that test and it'll stop working. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We're going to wait and let it play out. So I'll give you guys just a couple minutes real quick. Any other questions you've got? Well, I light my cigar. The cigar lounge was very, very full today, so I had to go outside. It was amazing. I secured a private room, and then a guy who usually comes in about noon, who's there all night, wasn't there today. I said, "This is my room," and 2 minutes before the show started, he came in the room. So that's how the day's going. President Trump just finished a barn burner of a speech, so we're watching that and seeing what the market does. Any questions? Maybe if you just started, that's what I was saying. I was rambling and cussing a lot. If you just started, I just muted. Thank you, everybody. If you're just new to trading and you just started, these days can be kind of scary where we have a massive move down and vols going up. You might be tempted to trade a lot. You might hear people like me say there's a lot of opportunities on days like today. You don't have to trade at all. Can you guys hear me at all? Can you guys hear me at all? Wave if you hear me, or type if you hear me. Okay, it's back. All right. So what I was saying, I'll say this one more time for you. Sorry about that. If you're new to trading and you've been trading for like a week or 2 weeks at this point in January, and you see a day like today where there's a big vol event and price is dropping a lot, have a giant gap overnight, things like that, you might be tempted to trade if you hear people say like, hey, we're good. This is a huge opportunity, a lot of opportunities on days like today. You don't have to trade, and you should feel no shame in not trading on a day like today. So anybody who tells you otherwise, it's just unneeded. There's another trading day tomorrow. One of the earliest problems I had was over trading when I was first trading options. And I'd put stuff on, and by the time I was done putting stuff on, I'd be so confused that I wouldn't even know what I want the position to do. There's a joy in not trading much on days like today. There's a joy in, seeing an opportunity and going for it, but there's also a joy in not trading. So you don't have to. If you're automating, I would say let it play out. You can go the other way. So you have some trades that are going to fire like we did today, and you might be tempted to say like, oh, well, this time's different. Your back test kind of shows, for instance, like the ratio trade. It's meant to be put on days like today. So, don't necessarily fear that. But if you're thinking about like you need to add something discretionarily, you don't need to add anything discretionarily. Trust me, it's usually not going to work out in your favor. If you know what you're doing and you've been doing this a long time and you see an opportunity, go for it, but feel no pressure otherwise. So that's that. We'll be back tomorrow. Be looking at stuff. I'm very eager to see what the overnight action is. This has been a weird day where we kind of gapped down and we just kind of stayed there and rallied up to where I think we were down 70 in the SPX and then just continued to falter. So overnight action is always fun in this. We'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow morning on the Option Omega show. And so look forward to it. Sleep good, though. Don't put a bunch of positions on and then do what I do and stay up all night. Do as I say, not as I do. All right, guys. It's freezing outside. Be safe. We'll talk